Thank you. Good morning. As a former educator and as a product of the St. Louis Public Schools, I certainly support the community having far more input into this process than we've seen thus far. This is a service that is for the community. They have to have voice at the table if anything like this is to occur. Our citizens need to tell us what public education looks like to them before we come in with a rubber stamp and say it's going to be this way. I certainly support Representative-elect Nasheed in her efforts, and as a member of the city delegation and those who are not here with us, we are going to stand up and ask that the state board step back one step and allow the citizens of this city to come forward, the parents, those children who are involved, those student councils that are involved in this system, to step up and say what public education is to them and how they want it to look. We are all taxpayers. We all have a right to have a system that's fashioned to meet our needs, not to have some rubber stamp or a fingerprint come in and tell us how we should have it in the city of St. Louis. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. State Representative Jeanette Mott Oxford.
Thank you, Eric. I would like to add my voice to those who are concerned about disempowering voters. We need more involvement by the voters. We need to work together for a higher turnout in our elections, all of our elections, but especially school board elections. We need folks to come out to candidate debates, to learn about the candidates and to make good decisions. Anytime elected officials criticize the public for who they elect, we're on pretty shaky ground in that the same electorate elects us. And if we say that people are making uninformed and stupid choices for some of the offices, we have to realize those same voters are coming out to see us. When we criticize the voters who are voting now, we're pointing the finger at the wrong place. The problem is that some people have not been involved. We need everyone to be involved if we are going to make our school system work, because it's a multifaceted problem. One of the main problems is just the chaos that comes with poverty and the deprivation of our children when they live in homes that don't have power on, when they move 2 and 3 times a year. It's impossible to have school success with those kind of challenges. We can't just manage ourselves into excellence when children's health and their well-being is threatened by poverty every day, and by the problems of the family that are created by poverty. We have to have community solutions that mean that we work together for affordable housing so that families are more stable and so that there's less transience. The moving in our schools is one of the main problems. We can tackle that together by creating more stable, affordable housing that's decent housing. We need an investment in excellent early childhood education, and we need family supporting wage jobs that will lift families out of poverty. We can surround our schools with care. Hopefully, I don't want anyone to see this press conference today as another attempt at being adversarial. There's enough being adversarial that's been happening. We have to give that up and work together. No matter who is technically in charge of the schools, it's going to take a sustained local effort of us coming together, all parts of the community, people of faith, businesses, neighbors of the schools, parents, the students themselves. We have to work together, the administrators, the teachers, all of us together, to surround our schools with care if we're really going to turn this thing around. And a lot of it is changing the daily circumstances of children's lives by lifting families out of poverty. That's what I want to put my efforts into.
Yeah. All right. And it's certainly going to take community input before any decisions are made.
All right.
Mary Armstrong, the president of St. Louis Teachers Union.
Good morning. And once again, as the largest representative of the employees that work for the St. Louis Public School System and the students themselves, we are the ones who have basically faced most of the instability in the district with all the constant changes at the top. But regardless who is at the helm, we need to have some stability, we need to have some consistency, and we need to make sure that we're addressing the needs of children. Some may think that we are speaking for self-interest, but that's not it. When we came out with our 5-point plan talking about discipline, class size, professional development, educating the whole child, and starting preschool at age 3, no one seemed to take that into consideration. But there are a lot of problems facing the students that we have to educate, and there are those who are in power that are looking at just the monetary side of it. They really need to examine and look at this. And I also have to talk about the survey that was taken that I don't believe was a true representation of the constituency in the city of St. Louis. So asking for a public hearing is one way to get those individuals who were not heard when they conducted the survey by the special committee that was appointed by the commissioner. This is another opportunity for those individuals to be heard, and we really don't believe that these voters should be disenfranchised. The same voters that voted for the mayor voted for these school board members, and we have an election coming up in April that may change a lot of the controversy that we currently have. So we ask that the Commissioner of Education come to St. Louis and have public hearings on and find out how the people that are stakeholders in the city of St. Louis want their school district to be run. Thank you.
All right, Reverend Morris.
I'm Reverend James T. Morris, James Morris, and I pastor the Lane Tabernacle Church. I'm here today in support of Local 420. I'm here today in support of our state representatives who have come forward to make it clear that we are not in favor of a state takeover. What we have seen, our representative said she's not being adversarial. I have no attempt to be adversarial at this moment either. But I do say that I have watched a calculated, methodical attempt to dismantle the St. Louis Public Schools. As a parent of children in the St. Louis Public Schools, I do not want to see the St. Louis Public Schools dismantled. The voters spoke. There seems to be a backdoor effort to move us to charter schools. We know what happens when charter schools move in. We know the demise that will continue. We know what will continue to be a downward spiral. We've seen state take over the schools in Kansas City, and no good come out of that. I'm very simply supporting Mary Armstrong and the teachers and saying, let's put our children first for a change for real. Let's look at their 5-point plan to getting this the St. Louis Public Schools back on track. Our goal is to see the school accredited and our children educated, and we can do that if we will sit down and work together. I'm missing some people out here today. I'm missing some people before us who claim to want to help the St. Louis Public Schools to come together. Where are they now? I've looked at this infamous report from the Special Advisory Committee talking about some things that ought to happen. Well, some of the people that they suggest ought to be a part are not present, and I don't hear them saying anything positive. I'm in support of what's going on with Local 420, again, our state representatives, and let's give that 5-point plan that Local 420 has issued a chance for the sake of our children in St. Louis Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank